In this video, we're going to explore how you can use objects in JavaScript. And if you've seen one of my videos, which is the data types in JavaScript, you probably understood that objects is one of the most important ones. And it's time now to really explore how we can use this. So we're going to show some demos and some very basic ways to work with objects. So the first thing first is we have to create an object. And basically an object is almost like an array. But instead of using brackets, we're going to use curly braces. So that's a slight difference. And this has become very important because this is almost like JSON. But once you understand objects, you can start to work with more and more items. So let's start and create a very basic object here. So for example, here, what would be an object? By default, a person is an object. And the reason why is you have a first name, last name, you have the place where you live, you have your address, you have your phone number, everything basically is like that. So anything is basically an object if it has more items to describe it. Yeah, so for example, if we are talking about let's get a product. Let's say we're going to buy a package of milk. So we have here a constant, and this constant is milk. And what is this milk? Well, this milk is an object. So, and the reason why this is an object is we need to know the price. So we have the price, and then in here we can put a price 200, comma. What do we have more besides price? Maybe we have a brand name, which also makes sense. And then in here you can put in milk brand. I have no idea. I'm just making up stuff. Or Nestle, and then Nestle milk. Nestle milk. And then we have another one here, maybe is the quantity, which could be 1 liter or anything you want. 1 liter, 1. And then maybe a quantity, quantity amount, I'm not there, or measure, and that could be the 1 liter. So we say here, the liter. So basically these are all independent. So we have 1, the quantity, maybe this could be quantity amount. This is the quantity measurement or weighing item. It could be a liter or a milliliter, whatever you want, but you get the point here. Alright, so we have like 4 items in this object. So how can we start to display this? Well, basically, if you want to display a specific item here, you can say, for example, milk.price, showing here the item of milk.price. So let's start and explore this. Well, first things first, before we do that, we must have a place where we can do it. So we're going to make a paragraph here. And in this paragraph, I'm going to give it an ID name. Sorry, not a class, but an ID name. And this ID will be milk info. Alright, and this is just blank, or I'll just put in here blank. Refresh here, you can see it's blank. Alright, it shows the text blank. So what we're going to do now is here we say document dot get element by ID, and then in here we're going to put in the milk info ID name. And then we say inner HTML, this capital HTML, make sure you have that, equals, and then we can put in here the variable. And the variable is based on the constant of milk, and then whatever we want. So if we say here milk.price, let's save this and see what happens here now. Now we get 200. So what if we want to do, for example, we want brand name. We say here milk brand name, then we have plus price. You can see here now this works, but we have no space between. Let's put in some space here. So do another plus, and between here quotation space. Alright, once you did this, there we are. So now you are working basically with objects. It's very similar to arrays. The only thing that objects is far more elaborative because you can put in items here. This is really, really powerful. And this is really where JSON starts. And once you start to understand this, understanding other different JavaScript languages like Vue.js, React, Angular starts to get easier, because this is one of the prime items of communicating. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video, because this is really fun, because this is the most exciting part of JavaScript. And if you like this kind of video, subscribe to my channel. And if you have questions regarding to this, post them in the comment section below.